What's going on, Knuckleheads? GKM Gaming here with another Layer Legacy Unboxed video for you, and today I'm bringing you my take on Black Spaceman Jen Slate, Woman of the Year, and boy oh boy is she really good. Right, so what the devs say about Jen Slate is they wanted to create a space hero that could act as a core member of any space team. Right, they wanted to create the Redbeard of space, right? The Redbeard, the Wu, the Egon, you need it on every one of those teams you're gonna run. The Magisto, the core unit that you're running no matter what on your space team. And I mean, they did, right? And they also wanted to have a unit that had some solid plug-and-play potential too. So Spaceman Jen boosts the survivability of her, her space allies. And with her special abilities, she has the potential to stop foes from reassembling and to stop passives from triggering too. So she's actually bringing something called a passive block, which is kind of like, how like disarm is ability block? Well, she has passive block, so she can block people's passives. What they really created though, so they wanted to create like a cornerstone of like every space team, like the Redbeard of space, who also had that plug and play. But if I'm being honest, what they created is the most broken faction we'll ever see, Techie. I'm just going to leave that there. And I'm going to move on and talk about the unit. Okay, so let's talk about her basic. Does 100% damage to a target foe and has an 80% chance to inflict skill down 2 for 2 turns. Now, but also, if the foe has 65% or less health, or is an attacker, they're inflicted with speed down for 2 turns. That's pretty devastating when you can reduce someone's speed by 30%, especially those attackers who, like a Hank, for instance, who tend to get a lot, kind of refresh their cooldowns a lot because they're faster. That's pretty dirty. That's actually going to be really good against Ninjago, too, because they're all a little bit faster. Solar Flare. Dragon Ball Z. I'm thinking of Tien Shinhan. Deals 115% damage to a target foe. Inflicts Bricked for 2 turns. Bricked means whenever they use a special ability, they take damage. Has a 75% chance to inflict the hero with passive block, meaning they can't use their passive. I want you to think about that. Scarlet can't get her taunt up. Gesture Go-Go can't heal. Redbeard can't counter. Like, that passive block is really devastating because so many heroes run off of how good their passive is. Again, 75% chance to inflict passive block for 2 turns. 5% bonus chance for each Techie hero. That's 100% chance. Passive block on a Techie team. Techie will be running the meta in a few months. As soon as we can get this character up to probably 5 stars, you're going to start to see Techie really running the meta. That's my bold prediction. I think they're going to be good even without her, and they're going to be insanely nasty with her. So next we got Blast Off. Deals 125% damage to a target foe. 15% bonus damage for each foe that has stealth. And reduces pep by 50%. All other foes with stealth has a 60% chance to gain 2 to 3 stacks of damage over time. Whoa. Oh, by the way, if this ability defeats the target foe, it can't be reassembled. You can't be bought back by... You do this to defeat Basil? Well, I ain't bringing him back. You do this to defeat anyone? Yuppie? Aurora? They ain't bringing him back. This is kind of a bummer for somebody who is invested a lot of my free-to-play resources into building like City, because I think City's going to get a rework eventually and be pretty good, and I kind of was thinking City would be meta eventually, and I think they still will be, but man, this really hurts Aurora and the Ice Glider. Basically, anybody who's running Aurora Glider, if I see that in Arena, I'm pulling her out. I'm just using her for kill shots. On top of just like you can't be reassembled. This is an insane ability, right? 15% bonus damage for each foe that has stealth, Right? Against Ninjago, that's 60% bonus damage against Lloyd, for instance. That's 185% damage multiplied. Oh, and it reduces his pet by 50%. And everyone else has a 60% chance to gain 2 or 3 stacks of damage over time. And he can't be reassembled. It's nuts. It's a really good ability. This is a really good unit. And next is her passive, Tech Support. I hope you like the voices I'm doing. At the start of battle, each space and Techie hero gain 25% max health and 25% defense. What? Yeah, I was talking about how Kelvin was good, giving people 10% health. She's giving 25% health and 25% defense. For each classic space hero, all heroes gain 5% speed. So she's giving everyone 5% speed, 10% speed if Reed is there. I'm probably not gonna be running her with Reed too much. If I was running her, I'd be running her for Techie. At the start of her turn, she has a 60% chance to clear 1 debuff from herself. Okay, that's just casually clears debuffs from herself. 5% chance for each Techie hero. Okay, so she casually just has a 80 to 85% chance to clear a debuff from herself every turn on a Techie team. If she has no debuffs at the end of her turn, she has a 50% chance to clear 1 debuff from another random space hero. So doesn't really work too well on a Techie team with that, unless you're running her with Kartovsky too. Probably he would be the one getting the boot though, although he's really good. I don't know who I wouldn't run on that Techie team when she comes to fruition. If that hero has no debuffs, they gain debuff immunity for 1 turn instead. Yikes. Okay, that's just casual. That's just your casual passive NBD, right? She's just casually giving everyone on her team 25% health and defense. And on top of that, she's clearing debuffs from herself and other people, and possibly giving someone debuff immunity. It's whatever. It's no big deal. Oh, she has an ultimate too. Can't be that good, right? And Control Alt Delete. Control Assault Delete. Right. Inflicts all foes randomly with either vulnerable or debilitate. Both insanely good debuffs. Debilitate, very underrated. Then deals 150% damage to 4 random foes to random foes 4 times. So it could be 1 person 4 times, could be 2 people twice, it could be 1 person 3 times. It's completely random. These attacks ignore stealth and taunt. It goes around taunt, it goes around stealth, 150% damage, and just throwing it out there. And on top of that, it's inflicting vulnerable on everyone or debilitate. Oh, wait, there's more. Each foe inflicted with bricked, disarmed, or passive block, which she gives, has a 75% chance to increase that duration by 1. She gives bricked, she gives passive block, Clockwork gives disarmed. The last thing I want to look at is Jen Slate's Year 7 7-star stats, courtesy of Tibster, who also has supplied all of the footage for this video. And we're actually, after looking at these stats, going to go deep dive into some of the matches she played out. Kind of squishy, only 15k on the health. The attack is solid though, right? As far as supports go, a 3600 attack is pretty good. I don't think he's as strong or she's as strong. I'm going to have gender issues with this character. Not as strong in terms of hard-hitting raw stats as Egon, but really everything that Jen Slate brings to the table. I actually think it's a better unit than Egon. The defense is low. The speed, it's a little worrisome how low the speed is. The skill is very high, almost 600 skill, 400 crit. Who actually knows what that does? But the stats don't look bad. Now let's check out a match that was not on auto battle. We saw all the footage before this in this video was all auto battles. This one Tibster actually plays out herself. We saw some wins and some losses with these auto battles, so they are actually not as bad on defense as people were making them out to be with gens. They can actually hang up against these strong Magistos Tower team, right? Right now you're seeing this Techie team with Galaxy Explorer. None of these videos use Jay's Cyber Dragon. I'm going to say that Galaxy Explorer is probably better if you're running a full Techie team, but they're facing a really powerful Megistos Tower team, right? You have Slimer, you've obviously got the 3 magical trio with Wu, Megisto, and Willa, and you got Basil. Maybe you could go Bankman instead of Slimer, but honestly, even with the magical thing and the Megistos Tower, I still think Slimer is probably stronger. But yeah, wow, Megisto down really, really quickly. Really quickly. And you know what? Even with the speed down, this team still moves pretty fast, and they hit really, really hard with what's going on. You got to keep in mind, you're not getting the full use of stealth when you're running a Megistos Tower team without Lloyd. So Lloyd is very prevalent in the meta right now, which means that this Techie team is going to counter those Lloyd Megisto Tower teams really hard. So right now, things don't look good, right? Everyone is pretty low on HP. But that's what I really want you to pay attention to here is, despite being really low on HP, this team does enough damage that they can really bring it all the way back. You're going to see back-to-back Egon ultimate, followed by Kartovsky killing Willa, right there, so many kills really quickly, and then you get the Jen's ultimate. This is over. Wait till you see how much damage this ultimate really does to this team. Bam, Wu gone, Slimer pretty much dead. I'm pretty sure I would smack with an Egon AoE. Wow, went for the Egon hit. That Egon hit actually does more damage because Slimer's under stealth. Yeah, they go right after, she's going after Basil. Really actually a smart move. Egon smashes him. Gonna use the AoE to pull him out of stealth. Not that that makes a big difference. And yeah, Slimer just cannot deal with what's going on with these two. Bam, that is game over. Right, the next match is just an auto battle that we lost. I really wanted to just deep dive and take a look at the match where she was on offense to kind of say that this team really does very well on offense, decently well on defense, but honestly, there are not many teams in the game that are great on defense, and there are really none that are unbeatable. So despite what everybody thinks, I actually am going to support Techie. I think Techie is the way to go. Techie is going to be taking over the meta. As you can see, Jen's Slate is fantastic, and they're only going to get better once they finally get a Techie tank or space type healer or something that I'm hoping will come out in the game. But that's pretty much all I got for today, Knuckleheads. Just remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications, and as always, remember to knuckle up.